Hey, Mike.
What?
Have you heard of the Homebrew podcast?
I totally have. Get it, nerds. We're hunting space dinosaurs.
The Homebrew podcast is the best adventure. It's published weekly and is everywhere podcasts can be found.
They're veteran Dungeons and Dragons player who love phenomenal stories, endearing characters, and a good adventure. They're currently engaged in a reimagined 5th edition sci-fi campaign called Absurdism and a Millennium Abroad. Whether you're new to D&D, a seasoned DM, somewhere in between, or just enjoy a good story, you've come to the right place. Join them while they explore the universe and push the boundaries.
So explain to me, Mike, what does the 5th edition mean?
They're using the 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons rule set put out by Wizards of the Coast.
Catch it online today at Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Google Podcasts. You can find them at facebook.com/homebrew podcast, or you can check them out at twitter.com/the homebrew DND, or again, anywhere you get your podcast feeds.
Why don't you just go to https://thehomebrewpodcast.com?
Well, that would be a good idea, Mike. You can find them there also. Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, are you bored of TV? Like drugs but can't afford them? Or still paying alimony?
Maybe.
All right, read How to See a Man About a Dog, collected writing. It's surreal. It's strange. It's How to See a Man About a Dog. Get your dose of surreal prose and poetry with this dark comedy collection.
Ebook available on Kindle Unlimited. Print copies are available on Amazon, the Book Depository, and more.
That's right. I'm going to go get my ebook on Kindle Unlimited today.
How to See a Man About a Dog. It combines darkly comic short stories, powerful poems, and pulp fiction prose to create a heartbreaking and hilarious journey readers will not soon forget. Read How to See a Man About a Dog, collected writings, for free with Kindle Unlimited. Ebook available on Kindle, print copies available on Amazon, the Book Depository, and more.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's happening?
Hey, have you ever heard of Rico and the Man?
No, but I've heard of Chico and the Man, but I'm an old guy.
Rico and the Man is a laugh-out-loud look at Hollywood's past, present, and troubling future.
These days, everyone and their cat has a podcast about the entertainment industry. But few shows have as much fun doing it as Rico and the Man with Rob Traegler and Peter Martino.
Well, look at Podcast Boy. Looks like he got a new toy.
Yes, New Jersey meets California in this bi-coastal, hilarious show where two old college buddies take shots at all things entertainment. With special guests, trivia, listener feedback, and comedy bits.
Scarlet, which is a scarlet.
Okay, let's take the subject now.
Rob and Peter invite you to laugh along. Rico and the Man. Available on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, and more.
Oh, this is great, Nathan.
Again, that's Rico and the Man. We would like to thank Podcorn for sponsoring this episode of TechTime Radio. Explore sponsorship opportunities and start monetizing your podcast by signing up at podcorn.com/podcasters. Let me tell you about Podcorn. Podcorn is an absolute must for any podcaster starting out. Now, when we started out TechTime Radio, we started out in a back office with a couple of mics. We expanded to a studio, and then now, as you can see, we're on the radio and have distribution into other markets. Having the ability to have Podcorn at the start of our podcast would have been a dream come true. Guess what? With Podcorn, you now have the amazing opportunity for podcasts to receive sponsorship, such as host reads, interview segments, and topical discussions. With Podcorn, there's no middleman. Podcasters of all sizes can browse and choose opportunities right on their platform, set their own rates, and collaborate with brands directly without exclusivities. You never give up the rights of your podcast in Podcorn, and they're here to support you everywhere possible. Visit podcorn.com. Again, that's podcorn.com. Podcorn is a true success for those starting their podcast dreams.
Coming to you from the shores of the Pacific Northwest. Keeping you up to date on technology while enjoying a little whiskey on the side. With leading-edge topics, along with special guests, to navigate technology in a segmented, stylized radio program. The information that will make you go, Pull up a seat, raise a glass with our hosts as we spend the next hour talking about technology for the common person. Welcome to TechTime Radio with Nathan Mumm.
I'm excited. I'm really excited. I'm so excited.
That's right. Wow,
Yeah,
Mike.
yeah.
We're just starting out. You're already
awesome.
excited.
Yeah.
You're awesome. All right.
You can take all those takes and from
Put
that
'em
commercial
together.
recording. And
That's right.
I'm excited.
I'm excited.
I'm
All right,
not-
welcome
I'm
to
not
TechTime
really that
Radio with
excited.
Nathan Mumm, the show that makes you go, Technology news of the week, the show for the everyday common person with insightful segments on subjects weeks ahead of the mainstream media. That's right. I'm Nathan. Welcome to our show as we live stream on the studio today at KKNW 1150. This is the second hour. If you missed the first hour and you're only catching the second hour, you need to go back. The first hour is phenomenal. It will save you time and effort on a brand new purchase of a TV and a USB drive.
It'll tick you off about all the cords and
the
USB
cables that you
ports
never
available.
replace, and then all of a sudden your TV's not getting what you should. That's right. You can always visit us at techtimeradio.com if you're catching us during Saturday from 4 to 6 p.m. You get the live show. Otherwise, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, not Saturday, not 4 to 6 p.m. And Sunday. Oh, I slipped it up there a little bit.
You slipped up.
Then you're catching a rebroadcast, or as they call it in the industry, an encore episode. And if you're catching that, then you want to go to techtimeradio.com to get all the latest information. Well, that whiskey's going through me a little bit. The Duke. It wasn't that great.
Duke.
It wasn't that great, but I got a little bit of the side.
No, it was okay. It
was
just
okay.
wasn't better than okay. And thinking
I wouldn't pay
thinking that-
$39 for it. When I can get a
Thinking that
screwball.
thinking that John Wayne actually required this to be in his contract when he was in his dressing room.
Yeah.
I'm like, he must have really liked this stuff.
He must-
Sorry, I don't like it that much.
That's right. All right. Well, it is now time for our 2-hour technology show to get kicked off.
Now on today's show.
On today's show, we have our Steals and Deals segment, which includes the best deals of the week on technology items. We want to make sure you get this before the haunts and the spooky ghouls grab these specials today.
Really?
Yeah.
That's your October.
That's by October.
thing.
We're in October, right? Isn't that spooky?
Yeah. Well, Halloween is one of my favorite holidays.
It is.
Even though it's not a holiday.
You know what? I can't wait to dress up in studio for that on the 30th episode. It's going to be fantastic.
You can't wait.
So we're going to be excited about that.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what you're going to become dressed as.
I'm going to be dressed like this.
No, you're not. I'm going to bring something for you to dress into.
Just bring me a sword.
Well, mine'll be easy. You could probably guess what I'll dress.
You're going to be
up as.
dressing in umpire gear, aren't you, David?
outfit.
Maybe.
That's right. He'll be coming from a game, and he'll just come right in. All right. Thank you for joining us on the show. We also are going to have our Ask the Experts, where we bring back one of our favorite guests. Phil Hennessy is going to be joining us with Robotics and Technology expert to talk about robots taking over the kitchen of sit-down and fast food restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
Very
It's
interesting.
already happening.
It is very interesting.
McDonald's.
I know they're on the list. Hey, don't spoil everything here now. We got
of McDonald's.
We got McDonald's. Soon you're going to go to McDonald's and you're never going to have to talk to anybody. But is that
For an
really
in-
what the
you
real
know, for-
McDonald guy when he
For an
created
introvert,
his deal?
actually, because Croc's vision was not hamburgers. It was
The efficiency of delivery
efficiency of
service.
delivery.
Correct. And the
Right.
same constant delivery place after place after place.
Right.
That was what he specifically
right. And
wanted
I
to do.
appreciate that.
As an
even
introvert?
As well, let's just assume for a moment that because I don't eat at McDonald's.
Okay.
But I appreciate the fact that they have everything so well grafted that if I pull into McDonald's, I know I'm going to get through the line, I'm going to get my food, and I'm going to get out.
Okay.
Right? Other places where you go and it's like, oh, we lost your order, or we just don't have time to do this stuff.
I'm
But
not
as
a McDonald's hater.
As an introvert,
Yeah.
going and talking to people is not my favorite thing in the world.
So you'd rather talk to a computer AI.
So having something that creates my food for me, that's an awesome
Okay, well,
idea.
you're going to enjoy this segment then.
But
Yeah.
the fact that we are automating the food industry really bothers the crap.
Well, you know what? Phil and I talked. You know what? There's a lot of things that we're automating, but there's a lot of things that we still need people to do. So
Yeah,
just
you-
maybe different services.
Yep, I know.
Okay,
This
so
is
we're going to
gonna
talk about that.
talk
That's
for a
pretty
long
exciting.
time.
That's right. And then we got something in our features where things you didn't know. We're going to be talking about EA's new COO, Laura Miele. She has been promoted. She is one of the most influential people in Electronic Arts. We're going to talk about a little bit of her background as she got promoted. That's fantastic. We're going to talk about where she started out and some of the series and some of the games she has helped develop. And she's got a pretty good track record. I think if you listen to what she's done and what she's kind of spearheaded as her brainchild ideas, I think you're going to be pretty impressed.
Okay.
All right. And where do you go for all this great technology information? You go to techtimeradio.com. That's techtimeradio.com. If you want to be a part of our show and call in, you can definitely get a hold of David. We have some open call time available today at 425-373-5527 if you're in the Seattle area. Or you can always call the 188 number at 188-298-KKNW. That's 188-298-KKNW 5569. And he'll get the question on the air so we can ask that. All right. David, here we go. Mike, here we go. We're going to start with our Love Shack question of the day. And when does Love Shack air, David?
Love Shack Live airs every Thursday afternoon, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. right here on AM 1150, KKNW. Programming reminder, Thursday, October 14th, Mr. Mike Gorday will be on joining Tom and Stacey on Love Shack Live.
Oh, that'd be exciting. You need to ask her that if we can get some more conversational cards. Ask her if they have like a series 2.
We're running out.
We are running out after being on. We've been on this for over a year now.
Yeah,
David has been with us.
I was there the whole time.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be a year. What, at the end of this month? I think.
Yeah, it is. That is correct. So at the Halloween time.
We started in the radio studio in October of 2020.
Yeah, the second week of October. So this is like our last week before we started. Next week would be when we actually started in here.
Yeah. Maybe
and then we came in.
Maybe you can dress up or something.
Well, to celebrate that?
Yeah.
Well, I get October 30th to dress up too.
Yeah. Okay.
So
wear a bright yellow shirt or a bright green one.
You want me to wear a bright yellow one tomorrow? I'm going to wear the biggest, brightest yellow shirt.
And get the biggest number 1 balloon you've ever have and put it right there in the back.
There you go.
There we go.
We're number 1.
Yeah, why not?
David always signals we're number 1 all the time.
I don't think
that?
we should encourage him. Yeah, he's always giving us a 1-finger salute.
That's right. Okay. All right. Here's the question: What is the most misunderstood? What is most misunderstood about you?
What's most misunderstood about me is the way I think, the way my brain works.
Okay, and how does your brain work?
Well, I can't tell you how it works. It's just that's I don't think the way other people think, or I don't think the way most people think. So I get a lot of people who think I'm weird or crazy or, well,
Okay. All right. Wow, that took a deep little turn there, David, didn't it?
Well,
yeah, it did.
All right.
I'm very well educated. I learn a lot about stuff that people don't care about.
You're the lie detector guy type of deal. That's what I used to always.
Yeah, I study faces. I study facial movements. I also study stuff like black holes and astrophysics and things like that. I have a whole. Not that I'm going to school for any of that, but I like to learn about these things. And if I talk about black holes with most people, they just kind of glaze over and they don't want to listen anymore. So
I'm listening still.
Yeah, so am I.
Yeah,
okay. All right. David, the question goes to you. What is most misunderstood about you?
That I am not a mean umpire, okay, parents, if you're listening out there. I'm just following the Little League rule book.
How many parents have you thrown out?
I haven't thrown out any, because if I have to throw out anybody, coach, parent, kid, then I got to do paperwork, and I really do not want to do it.
That is,
you really got to do paperwork?
Yes, you have to go to do you guys use Arbiter for your scheduling?
I don't know. They just say go upstairs, fill out the form, give it to our league president, and then go from there.
This is fascinating to me. Is this like an incident report type of thing?
Yeah. I do. When I officiate high school basketball for the state of Washington, if I throw out a coach, I have to do a whole report too. So let me just tell you, when I go over and the coach is yelling and screaming at me on the sidelines, I'm like, listen, dude, I have no time for paperwork tonight. I want to get home at like 10 or 11 o'clock tonight without ruining my deal.
So you try to reason with him?
Yeah, I just say, just sit down. If I miss the call, who cares?
Yeah,
sit
exactly.
down. You're not playing for the NBA championship, and I don't want to do paperwork. Shut up. And you know what? It actually works.
Yeah, somebody this morning actually thought that the kid was running over another kid. I'm like, I didn't see anything because I don't want to.
Yeah, you just don't want to.
I don't want to do paperwork.
I didn't see anything.
Although, one more thing really quick. One of the moms came up to me after the game and said I was one of the best umpires they had. So
you're out of here.
I'm sure she was on the winning team too, right?
I think so, yeah.
I've never had a parent ever say that I was the best official when I'm on a losing team.
I'm sure.
That's all right. So what's most misunderstood about me? So I'm kind of like the good cop, bad cop.
You're officiant?
Was that?
You're officiating?
My officiating. There you go. No. So a lot of people do good cop, bad cop. And I always normally end up taking the stance, whatever business decision, to normally be the bad cop. And people think that I enjoy being the bad cop on those. Most of the time, I do not. So the most misunderstood is I do not enjoy being the bad cop. But I know that it has to be accomplished, and most people cannot do the bad cop. They want to be the good cop. So I always volunteer to be the bad cop.
Really? So
Yeah.
you're the one that if you're counseling somebody, you're like, look, you suck and you're going home and you're never coming back kind of thing.
Well, so I'd say, like, let's say I'm doing a contract negotiation,
Yeah.
right? So let's say that for a business. And all of a sudden the guy that's trying to sell us whatever, comes and says, hey, I really like to sell this, this is really good. And I may be like totally enthralled saying, yeah, I really want this product. This is fantastic. So do I. And then all of a sudden
you start picking it apart?
Yeah, all of a sudden my coworker will be like, I don't know if I really like it. I'll say, okay, well, why don't you kind of express those things in the meeting? Oh, no, I'm not going to express that. No, I don't want to do that. So I'm like, okay, so write it down, and I will then say all the stuff that you're upset about and don't like, and I'll take that on and do that type of deal so that I can be the bad guy, and then you can still be the good guy.
So you volunteer to be the punching bag.
So I've done that. Yeah, you can ask Gwen, one of our producers. Ask her how many times, next time on this Thursday upcoming meeting, ask Gwen, one of our producers at the previous company that I worked at, a copier company. I won't say their names, but a copier company. How many times I would take the bad that's right. I would take the bad cop stance on any negotiation that we were doing with a contractor or a vendor. And most of the time I was the person that really wanted it, but I would end up taking that deal because the other person did not want to be that aggressive.
Do you do that when you go buy a car?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, you're that guy.
I'm the guy that walks away and say, yeah, screw that. I'm not going to pay that. This is what I told you to pay.
You.
Yeah, as a car
person. I sold,
used to sell cars.
I sold cars when I first got here because I couldn't find a job in my field, so I actually became a car salesman.
Yeah.
Worst job ever.
Yeah, they're pretty sleazy.
But it's part of a survival game.
Yeah.
The reason why some of them act the way they do is because they're usually the ones that's taken out of the deal first. Salespersons are usually taken out of the deal really quick because the company wants to move that car, so they're basically willing to cut the salesperson out.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So that's why, but it's a whole thing. It's a whole
that was the guy.
dynamic.
I would be the guy that would walk away. I'd be like, you know what? Here's the price I'm willing to pay. And then they'd be like, and then they go to look at my wife. My wife's like, oh, okay, well, I can maybe pay that part. I'd be like, wife, walk away. Yep, come on, let's go. Let's go.
And that's a good thing. Car sales is like a really bad marriage that nobody wants to get out of.
Is that what it is?
It's crazy. The amount of psychology in a car sales deal is nuts.
So why can't those low sticker prices and those online
car
companies are probably getting a lot of success because you don't have to deal with the salespeople?
The funny thing is that they've tried to do. Now I don't know how the online car sale things are working now, but they tried to do that before and it didn't work at all.
So if I'm going to buy a car, a big purchase, I kind of want to go and haggle with somebody. So I feel like I want to win.
Yeah. That's a part of that psychology. That's why when I got there, I figured, I feel like I'm a pretty honest guy. I know a lot about psychology. Everybody thought I was lying all the time.
Really?
Yeah. The more honest I was about something, the more I got accused of being a liar. It was the weirdest thing.
All right, so that's what you go. Look at, we're already 20 minutes in.
Yeah, I know.
David's pointing. There's a one finger. There's a one.
We're
all right, okay.
We got off track.
All right, here we go. That was pretty fun, though. Let's go right into our first segment that we have on docket right now.
That segment.
Welcome to the TechTime Radio Steals and Deals. Pay close attention to the Steal of the Week.
All right, here we go. We're gonna do a deal. You're up first.
All right, so you like iPad Pros?
I do.
You're like a Mac guy, right? You got a lot.
So I like both, right? I like Mac and PC almost exactly the same.
Okay, well,
but I do like an iPad Pro. Yeah.
Yeah, you can get previous generations. Woot is having a big sale on 2019 and 2020 iPad Pros, knocking some 12.9-inch models down to $769.
Oh, I may have to get one.
Apple's most powerful iPad hasn't changed much in look over the past few years, but the 2021 models got a big upgrade in performance with the MI processor. If you're comfortable with skipping that and a number of other smaller updates, you could save a bunch and still get a powerful iPad.
All right. I think it was the M1, not MI, but M1. Does it say
M1?
M1. Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
All right. So mine is, we're going to go right back to Apple. I got the Mac Mini M1. I actually purchased one of these for company just this week. Apple's Mac M1 is down to an all-time low price of $600 thanks to a sale when you add an automatically applied coupon. You're getting the best performance available by the M1 chipset in a compact desktop package. It's a good machine to get you. If you have an older desktop that needs replacing, don't spend a ton of money on it. You can go and buy the Mac Mini M1 at Amazon right now for $600.
Nice.
Nice deal. All right, you're up next.
All right. You want a 75-inch Hisense U6G series Quantum Dot 4K Android TV. That's a mouthful.
Yeah. If you do, you better make sure you get the HDMI 2.1
That's right.
cable.
You better have the right cables.
Otherwise, you're going to be.
Otherwise, it's going to suck.
Yep.
So this massive TV, a smart TV, is $255 off, bringing it down to $995.
Oh, that's a good price.
It has local dimming zones for better brightness, quantum dot technology for rich colors, and it supports Dolby Vision and Atmos. It also has auto low latency mode for better gaming, and Android TV gives you an access to a plethora of streaming services, including Netflix and Prime Video. And it looks like you can get this at Best Buy and Amazon for the same price, $995.
Oh, that's a good deal. All right, Microsoft Elite Series 2 controller. The Xbox Elite Series 2 controller is $30 off right now, bringing it down to an all-time low of $150. This was released last year. And on top of being compatible with the Xbox Series X, the Elite Series 2 controller has the new USB-C port, a rechargeable battery, interchangeable thumbsticks, programmable profiles, Bluetooth, and more. You can buy the Elite Series 2 controller at Amazon for $150.
Nice. NordVPN.
Okay.
One of our favorite VPNs.
I use it. I use it.
You use it. I don't use it. Mine is Viper.
Okay, it's Viper. Okay,
right.
but let's. Is there a sale on the NordVPN?
Yep.
Okay.
Running a sale on 2-year subscriptions. You can sign up and pay $99 for 2 years. Plus, you get an extra 3 months free. NordVPN is great for its speed, no login policy, and the thousands of servers it has to choose from. And that one account supports up to 6 connected devices. And you buy that on NordVPN for $99.
That's a good deal. If you want, it's not the best VPN. Viper's better.
Viper's better.
But let me just tell you, if you want a very good VPN, at
it is a very
good
good VPN. Yeah,
it's not the best, but it's not like
we would
the
consider that
lowest.
to be the
middle level,
or
middle
the
tier.
secondary to Viper.
To Viper, that's correct. All right, here we go. Good old games. Have you ever heard of Good Old Games?
You know, I think I have.
Okay, GOG.com is having.
GOG Games.
GOG Games has its anniversary party sales through October 6th. If you go to GOG.com, they have more than 120 games on sales with up to 90% off on most of their games. This includes all-time classics like Blood Omen, Elvira, Baldur's Gate, Dishonored, Wolfenstein, Cuphead, and more.
Wow.
To see the information, all you got to do is go to the GOG.com and take a look at their anniversary party sale.
Woohoo.
And our steal of the week.
What's our steal of the week?
Comic-Con 2022 sweepstakes. How about if I told you how you could go to Comic-Con for free? Through December 8th, if you enter to win, you can win a 4-day pass to the San Diego Comic-Con in 2022. Along with passes, you'll get access to special preview nights, reserved seating in Hall H, a personal concierge, a private tour of the Comic-Con Museum, dinner at Balboa Park, and tickets to the Night at the Comic-Con Museum event. It's free to enter right now if you go to Omaze. It's www.omaze.com.
OMAZE?
OMAZE.com/products/Comic-Con 2021. So if you just go to omaze.com and search for Comic-Con 2021, you will get passes for the 2022 version and enter a chance to win 4-day passes to San Diego Comic-Con. Absolutely free.
Nice. Why are we talking about San Diego's and not Emerald City?
Well,
Because they don't have a cool deal?
I don't know. They don't have a steal. Where the steal is where you don't have to pay anything.
Emerald City Comic-Con is happening this December.
So the private tour of the Comic-Con Museum, the dinner at Balboa Park, and the tickets to the Night of Comic-Con Museum event alone normally sell for $1,000.
Wow.
So that's
crazy.
$1,000 event right there, not coming along with the 4-day passes.
You would think that something that caters to nerds would know that nerds spend all their money on tech.
They do. So here you go. www.omaze.com/products/Comic-Con 2021.
There you go.
And that gets us through our steals and deals of the week. We're going to take a commercial break. I'm Nathan Mumm. We got Mike Gorday here and David Brown behind the board. We'll see you right after this.
Upper Left Corner is a PNW true crime podcast now streaming on all major podcast platforms. If you get excited when your favorite true crime podcast tells a story about a place that you've been to or the town that you live in, then Upper Left Corner podcast is for you. Each week, I tell you a story of a crime that has taken place in the PNW and give you background about the town the crime occurred in. If you like true crime, check out Upper Left Corner podcast, now available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, and more.
Ace Hardware is a helpful place with prompt, friendly service, knowledge, and the little things that make a big difference.
Service.
Selection.
Advice.
Community involvement.
Competitive prices.
Convenience.
Located near you.
And the things you need, such as
house keys,
lawn and garden,
plumbing,
electrical,
hardware,
grills,
outdoor living supplies,
and even nuts and bolts.
When you visit Ace Hardware, you'll be greeted at the door and given the help you need.
So come visit us at Ace Hardware in Evergreen Way in Everett, Lake Stevens, and now Stanley.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
What is that noise right before the? It sounds like a shaker. Or something.
It is. They're rolling dice.
Is it a dice shaker?
Yeah, this is called gambling on the strip. That's
Okay.
what the music was that I
couldn't figure out if it's dice or ice in a glass.
I think it's dice because it's gambling on the strip. Well, it could be ice too, though, right? Like a high-end drink that they're pouring for you.
Yeah, sure.
That is my favorite music to come back into, though. I like that one.
Okay.
All right, here we
get
go
on with Phil.
All right, up next we have our robotics and technology expert Phil Hennessy joining us. Will robots soon be running McDonald's when you visit? That's the question I'm
That's
going to
what
ask.
McDonald's wants.
Yep, now's the time to grab a pencil and take some notes because we have our expert joining us as we start our next segment.
This is a segment we call Ask the Experts.
All right.
I don't see him yet. Where is he?
Phil's coming up. There he is. All right. Oh, and he's got some whiskey.
He's got.
Or is that some vodka?
Is that vodka?
Is that vodka or whiskey? Oh.
I can't read it.
I can't.
My glasses
it says
are too blurry.
Tullamore Dew. Is it Tullamore Dew? Uh-oh. I can't hear you. I think you're on mute. Are you on mute, Phil? Phil's saying he's not on mute. We're not hearing you, though.
We're not hearing. Hang on.
David's going to take a look at it. He's got it. All right, David said, "Oh, that was a new one. That was a talk thing."
That means keep talking, buddy.
That means he's got to
figure out the technical issue.
All right, here we go. So we're going to start out the segment with from cocktails making to burger flipping. Many foods in the beverage business are beginning to discover the benefits of using robots to improve their productivity. The automation revolution has begun. All right, is David found a way to get him? David is shaking his head no, so that means we're going to continue on to talk about this. We'll ask him questions when he comes on back. I always have back-end stories, so in case this happens.
That's right. Well, this has happened a couple of times.
It has. So, you know what?
Because technology
doesn't always work.
Sucks when it doesn't work.
You know what? When you expect it to work and it doesn't work, then you get upset. All right, so let's talk specifically regarding some autonomous vehicles. And you're a big excited person regarding this, right?
No.
So, I know. So we're going to talk about the self-driving delivery startup Nuro, or Nuro, is partnering with Domino's to deliver pizzas in Houston.
Yep.
Here's what happens. Nuro is a self-driving delivery startup, and essentially it will come and create with an autonomous vehicle the ability to deliver goods from stores to customers' houses. The California-based startup has previously partnered with other companies like Walmart and CVC Pharmacy. The insider's homepage of the stories essentially says that Nuro, a self-driving delivery startup, is partnering with Domino's to deliver fresh pizzas to select customers around the Houston area. Its product fits squarely into the delivery e-commerce industry. It is a small-sized vehicle which will essentially come up and go to your specific GPS address to deliver products from a storefront to a customer's house.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. We talked about this in the Thursday meeting,
one of the comments you made was that, I'm just going to go and pick that up and carry it away because it's so small.
Yeah, so I did say that, right? I said what happens if I just go, so it's a pretty small device. It's a non-licensed device because it's not a vehicle. It's like a motor scooter that you would have or one of these little
There's
spirits.
all kinds of issues that I have with these things. One is it has to interact with people.
Okay.
How does it know that it's getting the pizza to the right person?
So it goes to the GPS location of what I found about this, because I know that you were going to say that. Goes to the GPS location, and you have to be there and say accept. It sends you a code in their app. And so, like, if it's a Domino's Pizza app, you're going to get a code. You're going to have to type in that code to open its side compartment to allow you access to the pizza.
Okay, what happens when that doesn't work?
Kind of like we have audio things
effed.
like. So I think have you seen their Domino's Pizza ads where they guarantee a delivery if you pull up for 2 minutes or your pizza's free?
Yeah,
right?
That's like they used to do when it says we deliver in under 30 minutes or your pizza's free.
Yeah,
remember that?
Yeah, I would remember that. But then all of a sudden they must.
Now it's 2 minutes.
Now it's 2 minutes if you pull up to the front of it. So this little device goes on sidewalks and on the street. So essentially, you could be jogging in Texas, right? Where this is being then jogging on the road. See this little it's a green device strolling up the sidewalk with little beep 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 noises, so that you don't do that. How do you not pick that up? If I had a truck with, I don't have a truck, but if I had a truck with a bed, why wouldn't I just pick up that device? I'm sure there's some type of alarm and it go up. But who's the police cop for that?
Not just that, but it's got to alert people that it's there, so it's relying on everybody else to maintain distance from it.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So that's the big if about this kind of stuff. That's the same thing with the drones.
Yeah.
Amazon was trying a drone delivery service, and
they kind of let that go by.
Let that go by because why?
Because you know what? Because people were not being there to get the drone delivery.
Right.
They couldn't have the proper mechanics to make sure you get it, especially with these housing complexes.
Mm-hmm.
When you pull into a housing complex, you may have 50, 60 buildings. How do you get to apartment C 502 and make sure that you deliver that on a drone deal when you're coming on in? What are you going to just put it out in the standard area and then let it take care of it? And then you have another 500 people that are going to be like, there's an Amazon package.
And then while it's cruising up that sidewalk, hey, maybe there's a bunch of kids who've been partying. They're like, hey, there's the pizza thing, and they roll it onto the ground and break into it and get your pizza.
Yeah. I mean, you can easily get vandalized, right? What are you going to do? It's got an alert. It's going to go beep, beep, beep. Oh, I'm being attacked. I'm being attacked.
On paper, it sounds really cool, but in actuality, when it interacts with the human world, it creates a lot of problems. And that's my problem with it is when it interacts with the human world. Is it really that efficient? And I'm going to say no at this point.
Okay.
There is the caveat that people are going to get used to this stuff, so they're going to be avoiding it better. But the fact of the matter is there's so many variables from where that thing disconnects from the battery charger and drives to the place where it needs to go. There's so many variables between point A and point B that I don't think this is going to be a really efficient way of doing it. So this was Neuro doing the pizza delivery. There's another delivery service that we were talking about that's like
it's a taco company.
Yeah, the taco place.
The taco
El
place.
Pollo Loco.
Yeah, and they're going to be delivering all of their food on drones.
No, wait a minute.
It was drones.
That's right. El Pollo Loco is trying the Amazon thing.
Yes, they're trying the drones thing.
Who is the other company that was trying the Neuro ground crawling?
So it was both the pizza company and Domino's Pizza, and it was also there was another company too. I can't remember the other company. I just know that Domino's Pizza is actively using it.
Yeah, Domino's was the first one, and then we were just reading about
CVC is using it, and Walmart's using it also, and other companies are jumping in. Yeah, CVC pharmacies. Yeah, just think of that.
Yeah, that's.
See,
I'm going to put a big X on that one.
You're getting.
Yeah, somebody's going to. If I thought the pizza was going to get broken into, the pharmaceutical one is going to get moshed a lot.
You get drugs that are coming to your house. I need some codeine.
Here comes the drug robot.
It's right there available for you. Then you get a call on your phone saying there's drugs at the border, and it's just really drugs on the
maybe that's my curry.
But see, so what happens if you steal one? So here's my biggest thing: is what happens if you steal that unit? So let me say I throw it in the back of my
GPS on it. Right?
Okay, so it's got a GPS on it. So who cares? But what cop is going to come to my house saying that I think you have the Neuro delivery system in here because the GPS showed us that it's here? Oh, sorry, officer. I guess I have it. Or they say, no, I don't have it. What are you talking about? Is they going to be like, I'm going to search your house for this robot?
Well, they could.
You think so?
Yeah. there could be probable cause in that. I don't know.
So
if they're saying there's a report that there's a GPS signal coming out of your garage from a stolen Euro Robotics pizza
company
delivery robot, we need to check your garage.
Okay, so let's say
no.
Okay, so I break into this bot. I steal my pizza. Yeah. And I got some pharmaceuticals on the side because I decided.
Crazy. That doesn't make any. The people making these decisions.
In Walmart,
doesn't make any.
I got some new clothing, some Walmart clothing too, right? So it's
I don't know why Walmart is doing it anyway.
So you can tell
they're
me
just going to have it travel around and take pictures of all the people.
The crazy people in Walmart.
People. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have no idea what Walmart customer is going to want a high-end delivery drone to their house. I mean, I've walked into Walmart sometimes, but
what is Walmart delivering? They're not. They're of course. I'm sure they're not delivering these big old TVs.
Probably not, right?
Right. So they're delivering clothes and the whole med thing. That just really boggles me.
Okay, so let's talk about McDonald's, all right? So I was going to ask,
but El Pollo Loco. Go to the El Pollo Loco.
Okay,
thing,
so
they're doing the Amazon thing.
So they're doing drone delivery,
right?
So you got to do a minimum purchase of $10. Okay.
Okay.
So that's really nothing if you take a look at it, right?
No, not in today's day.
Okay, so $10 to have that taken care of.
I need some tacos.
So then all of a sudden you get it. It will deliver to your house. It'll be out there. It will beep at you, and it will tell you when it's available through their app. So I go on up, and I take it from the drone itself, and the drone flies off.
Okay.
Okay? So for
sure
$10. So you're telling me the technology to deliver that is probably more than the $10 order that I will ever do. How do you guarantee that in rain it's going to be delivered? Is it all of a sudden I go to order my deal, and it says, sorry, there's winds that are happening right now?
Yeah,
sorry you have winds. Yeah. We have rain that's happening. We have too much sunlight that's happening because sunlight can.
But what if you're not there? What if you're running late? Because this happens a lot when you're delivering food too. The people are not at home,
like Uber Eats, right? So both of us have done Uber Eats on the side as a little side hustle for some fun.
This is you get some crazy stuff going on. You know, that's the problem. What I'm talking about, people. There's too many variables with people. Like people will order food and they'll have it delivered and they're not even at the house. They'll like call you right in the middle of your delivery and say, "Oh, shoot, we're at this other place."
Yeah, I ordered it. I just didn't think you'd be so quick. You're like, okay, well, I'm not going to be waiting.
Yeah,
for
please
you,
don't cancel. Is this thing going to fly over your house? And if you're not waiting and to give it whatever little code, is just going to drop your food right there on the ground?
So let's say it is raining, right? And it's cold, and you're delivering food. How is it? Then all of a sudden, I order tacos. I get cold, frozen tacos by the time the bag's soaking wet.
The bag's soaking wet.
I get it. So then all of a sudden, I just get a mishmash of stuff.
Yeah,
my drink
tacos.
My drink isn't able to be on the. How do you deliver a drink? If I order a combo meal, am I getting a drink or not?
Yeah, not to mention the amount of problems that the drone can suffer from not just flying from one point A to point B, but also from people hucking rocks at it or shooting BB guns at it. Or wasn't there a case where like an eagle attacked one?
Yeah, so eagles attacked them and took a drone down. Just think of you're flying and an animal
really
actually gets that.
Tacos.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
El Pollo. You need some El Pollo.
All right, so let's go talk about McDonald's.
Okay, let's talk about
McDonald's is spending billions, not even millions of dollars.
Oh, I know.
Billions of dollars on the automated process for ordering food.
Right.
Okay, so I pull into McDonald's, and so it was a test case where they had like 10 restaurants that had this automated, essentially it's like Siri or Alexa, any of these type of automated deal. Now they have over 100 restaurants using this automated service.
Right.
They say that it's more polite because sometimes if you're
I believe that, actually.
Do you believe that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if you do drive-thrus.
Yeah. I do drive-thrus.
But things have changed a lot since
with the person running the drive-thru thing.
Oh my God. I pulled into Dairy Queen and ordered you know what a mulatte is?
Yeah.
I ordered a mulatte.
It's a latte with milk.
It's this little coffee drink thing that they have, and I hate the name, but I use the name because that's what their name. And the woman the girl, she's a young girl, starts arguing with me and telling me in the drive-through that they don't do coffee drinks, and I'm like, it's a mulatte. We don't do lattes. It's a mulatte. We don't do lattes. It's a moo latte. I'm sorry, sir, but we don't do coffee drinks. And I'm like, are you seriously arguing with me about this? I come and get this stuff all the time.
From the same place?
From the same place.
From the same place.
Yeah.
So they had a brand new gal. Probably didn't know all the offerings because there's so many.
It's the level. I mean, I remember when I was a kid.
Yeah.
You took these jobs really seriously.
Uh-huh.
And now it seems like there's not.
Yeah, when I was 15, I was busting tables.
Right.
Right.
So I pull up, and I'm pulling up to the thing, and I have to talk to the manager. Like, do you guys not do moulates? She's like, of course we do. That's what I ordered. She was arguing with me over the intercom that you guys don't do this anymore. And I'm like, okay.
Well, McDonald's is going to fix this.
If a robot's going to be more polite to me, at this point, I'm okay with it.
You're okay with it. So they say that they have over 100 stores that have implemented this now.
Uh-huh.
Essentially, when you go on up to the drive-thru, it will ask you to welcome to McDonald's. It does a whole little speech, which they can actually speed up the speech recognition, is what they say, to run at a 1.5 speed to almost 2 times the speed of what an American English accented person can say through the drive-thru. So you can actually clearly hear it and have it taken care of itself.
We got to go for a break.
Okay, so we're going to talk about.
Got a hand signal.
Oh, we did. So we're going to take a commercial break. When we come on back, we are going to continue our discussion about McDonald's. We'll see if Phil is able to join us on the show, and we will talk to you then.
McDonald's.
Hello, my name is Arthur, and my life's work is connecting people with coffee. Story Coffee is a small batch specialty coffee company that uses technology to connect people to each product resource, which allows farmers to unlock their economic freedom. Try our Medium Roast Founder Series coffee, which is an exotic bourbon variety that is smooth, fresh, and elegant at storycoffee.com. That's STORI coffee.com. Today you can get your first bag free when you subscribe at storycoffee.com with code TechTime. That's STORI coffee.com.
Hi, this is Lisa Downs, host of Reigniting You, a new show here on KKNW that explores a variety of topics and timely issues for making mid to late career transitions. I'll be here every Wednesday afternoon at 3 o'clock bringing you guest interviews, career transition advice, and great stories to guide you to what's next in your career and life. Gain a renewed sense of purpose for your next phase with a positive, forward-looking approach. Get ready to be re-energized, recharged, and reignited Wednesdays at 3 o'clock.
Your favorite?
That's my favorite.
This is your favorite? All right. Well, welcome back to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm. We're going to get right into it. We got Phil on. You know what? Sometimes you have a technology glitch, so we're going to get him on the phone.
Yeah, I hate technology.
So, thank goodness it's not a voice over IP phone that is being trampled on.
Yeah, that's right.
So otherwise we'd be in trouble.
DDoS attacks.
That's right. So hopefully, Phil, you can hear us on the phone.
I can. I just had to get a charger because my phone's about to die.
Uh-oh. That's
boy, technology's working against us really badly today.
Just today, Phil, I'm sorry to hear that, but hopefully we can get through some of these questions. I did talk about, I went ahead and me and you talked about kind of leading into the show what we're going to talk about. So I've already talked about the delivery vehicles that Mike hates. So we talked about that we could steal.
I don't hate them. I just don't think they're going to be that
You don't think
effective.
they're going to be we talked about drones delivering information. So let's go right
tacos.
And tacos. Let's go right into this and talk about, you did a study on all of the automated technology that is coming on out for restaurants, sit-down restaurants or fast food restaurants, right?
Yep.
All right. So tell me a little bit about what was the coolest thing that you have. I got some questions here about Sally, the salad-making robot, but what was the most interesting aspect that you learned about with this before we start asking you some drilling questions?
Sure. Oh, actually, I thought the coolest thing I saw was the TrueBird Micro Cafe for coffee. I saw the videos of that too, and basically it's super slick. It's like a European industrial design. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And when the cup comes down after it's full of coffee, or actually while it's being filled by the milk and the coffee and the sugar and everything, they have these 3 devices that are controlled by magnets underneath the wood. So it looks like these 3 magical little black discs are just kind of swirling around, and it pushes the coffee cup around each thing and then pushes it out to you. It's just absolutely so cool.
Wow. So do you think this is something that Starbucks would use or independent coffee places would use? Who would use this?
Independent coffee places and and airports and all that kind of stuff. It's called TrueBird, and it's considered a fully automated micro cafe. And it was absolutely some of the coolest engineering I saw out of the research. The other one that was just, I think is just really hard to do is the burger flipping robot. They're using an industrial cobot arm, and then you have all the vision, automatic AI, and they're vision perception systems, and they can tell when per their systems, they can tell when the burger is going to be done on each side, and then they put it onto a burger bun.
So that means you get no burnt burgers then.
I don't
That's
get
correct.
I don't get burnt burgers anyway, so I don't know about that.
You don't do it. Sometimes I go to a Burger King. If I go,
See, I don't.
I go Burger King.
The problem is
and it's
this:
a
I
little bit burnt.
don't use these. I don't use these restaurant places anymore.
You don't,
except for the occasional Dairy Queen Moo Latte, which I have to argue about
because they don't know what you're ordering.
They don't
right?
know what I'm ordering.
All right, so let's talk about Sally the salad making robot. What is Sally the salad making robot, Phil?
Well, that's and this is where I would consider that this type of robot is just really an advanced kiosk or vending machine, where it has a bunch of inside. It's a refrigerated vending machine that has a bunch of silos of all the different types of, I think up to 8 salad ingredients.
Okay.
Right, and then you type in on the front pad what you want, and then it goes ahead and it dumps it all switches around and dumps it all into a bowl, and then you take it out. So that's one of the least complex out of the things that I've been looking at, so it's maybe a very, very advanced vending machine. But some of the other stuff that people are doing are much more advanced in robotics. This is you could have done it 5 years ago, 10 years ago, still, because it's really just a very advanced vending machine.
Okay, so how about the interactive robot bartender? That was interesting to me. Tell me,
You're going to ask me about this one, Nathan.
You do that, right? So we got alcohol in here. You got it.
Interactive robot. Do you tell it its woes and it gives you advice?
Yeah, I don't know. See, that's what I think. Like the bartender. I mean, are they there as a listening arm, or you can just talk into the arm too? So tell me about this.
No, actually, it does both, Mike. It actually wants to interact with you. It'll interact with you. I watched the demos on this one too, and supposedly it'll interact with you, and you can tell it its ear woes. I don't know how well it'll give you advice like you, Mike, but that's what it's saying. But then they have a bunch of different mixed drinks that you can do, and it takes about 30 seconds to make that drink and pop one out to you. So it has everything in the background. In the back, all the different alcohols, and you have, a bunch of different drink lists you can make, and it pops out to you. And it has in the front, it's a big video of this woman, bartender, and she'll engage with you, and you can talk to her a little bit. And so that's where the AI is coming in against really advanced, again, vending machine, but with this AI interface with this avatar of a woman that you can talk to.
So that's interesting.
So it's a woman.
Well, yeah.
So it's a woman. What if I wanted the man guy?
Well, I'm sure there's a male
version
avatar
of that
too. Yeah,
you can put it on there too. Okay,
or whatever.
Okay, so the next thing, a pizza making.
Comic-Con, I'm sure it's going to be something else.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. All of a sudden, you can have it be whatever.
But
you
that's funny because when we talk about these robots taking over jobs, the speculation is that these mechanical things can replace almost every single job but therapists.
That's true, and something else, and that's
there's
going to be
another
the very end. I'm going to ask Phil on what jobs will stay stationary because we talked about this. So next we go on to a pizza making robot. What does this pizza making robot do?
Makes pizza.
So what I find interesting in this one is that it's modular and it has these different sections to put on. If you want to add, you have the basic pizza. You have the dough that comes rolled out, right, and then you have all these different modules you can add on to this machine, where you can add the sauce, the cheese, the extra cheese, the pepperoni, the mushroom. So every single ingredient you want to add, you add another module to this. So it gets pretty long. I mean, like maybe they're like 3 foot long each section, 2 foot long each section. So every ingredient you want to do, it gets longer. But I mean, it basically takes it, and you put this into a stadium or at at another type of thing like that, venue, college, campus. You want to have hot pizza somewhere, and this thing just rolls through. And what I find on this one, though, is, Nathan, when we talk about the end, who takes care of this thing, because there's all these individual little conveyors that have all the pepperoni, the olives, the mushrooms, the onions, and I'm like, how does this thing maintain, right? I mean, you got a lot of food there, and you got to maintain this. So it's very, very cool, but the maintenance to me would be tough.
You know what? And one thing that's not going away is the person that has to clean
the janitor.
Up. Yeah, that's what we talked about, isn't it, Phil? We said the most important job still is going to be the janitor to clean up all this mess.
Which is the one job most people don't want to do.
I know. So all of a sudden we're getting rid of the.
We're getting rid of the jobs people wanted. And again, this is there's a lot of ethical stuff going on around with about what is it going to look like to and the human portion of it and all the jobs that we're eliminating and what that's going to do to the overall economy and all this other stuff. But there's always going to be a janitor
that has to clean up. All right, I got one more question.
And a therapist.
One more question, then I'm going to take a commercial break, and we're going to bring you back, Phil, since we had a little bit of time to do something else. So my next question is, tell me about Smile Robotics, the plate collecting robot. So is this essentially a robot that is a busing robot for restaurants?
Yeah, but so it's a... All right, so Mike, you're going to jump in on this one, I'm sure. So this is a robot that goes to your table, and then you have to bus your own table.
Oh,
what?
Wow. So you got to do all the work of the cleanup person.
Yeah.
Well,
so these types of robots, right? The food comes out to you on these waiter type robots. Well, then you got to take the food yourself and put it onto your table, and then when you're done, it'll come and you can put your plate on there and it'll go. Well, if I'm going to go to a restaurant, I want to go to a restaurant.
Yeah, I don't want to be busting my own table.
To be fair, I've been to restaurants where I actually have to hand the plates to the person anyway.
Do you really?
Yeah. Because they stand there looking like, duh.
They don't know what to do. All right, okay, we're going to take a commercial break. Phil, I got a question for you. Will drones ever deliver restaurant food to people's houses in our lifetime? I want you to think about it. I'm going to ask you when we come on back. We'll take a commercial break. I'm Nathan Mumm, Mike Gorday here, and David Brown behind the board. We'll see you after this. Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, are you bored of TV? Like drugs but can't afford them? Or still paying alimony?
Maybe.
All right, read How to See a Man About a Dog, collected writing. It's surreal. It's strange. It's How to See a Man About a Dog. Get your dose of surreal prose and poetry with this dark comedy collection.
Ebook available on Kindle Unlimited. Print copies are available on Amazon, the Book Depository, and more.
That's right. I'm going to go get my ebook on Kindle Unlimited today.
Hey, babe, I hear that you can download a new voice on Siri.
No way.
Yes, it's true. It's a voice that goes, hey, you big hunk. What do you want to do and where do you want to go?
Stop it.
Oh, God. Okay, I'm kidding.
What has tech ever done for our relationships?
We can't talk about that on the radio.
If you want to eavesdrop on juicy conversations that no one is having around all things love, sex, and relationships, join us right here, 1 p.m. on KKNW and wherever you get your podcast.
We look forward to seeing you in the Love Shack.
How to See a Man About a Dog. It combines darkly comic short stories, powerful poems, and pulp fiction prose to create a heartbreaking and hilarious journey readers will not soon forget. Read How to See a Man About a Dog, collected writings, for free with Kindle Unlimited. Ebook available on Kindle, print copies available on Amazon, the Book Depository, and more.
All right, welcome back to Tech Time Radio with Nathan Mumm. We got Mike Gorday here and David Brown behind the board. And Phil, we had some technical disabilities, but we are getting through those.
Difficulties.
Well, disabilities too. So we're going to, next question we have for you. Are we ever going to have drones deliver restaurant food to people's houses in our lifetime?
I think within the next 10 to 30 years, and notice the range, yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the reason why is what you guys talked about already on the show is, we need to figure out where the person is. Is the housing going to change because you're going to have a little place to land the drone? You're going to have some beacons to know where the drone needs to go. All these other infrastructure things you need to figure out to get the drone to that person to deliver it, right? So, some places will be really easy, some places very difficult. So some of that will happen now, but the edge cases is what's going to be really the challenge. So if you say 100% delivery, it's 10 to 30 years.
Okay, all right.
Now people are trying it.
All right, McDonald's fast food service turning to voice order technology and drive-thrus. Explain this in full details. We were starting this, but then we got you back. Why is McDonald's doing this? Is this really going to be better? Mike likes the idea of it, but tell me what McDonald's is doing on this area.
It has the potential to be better because your orders are going to be more accurate. But when people change stuff, what I'm curious on is they're doing all their testing is are they doing all the edge cases where I don't want pickles or I want extra pickles or I want extra mayo or whatever? Is it really going to understand all that? Because, as you know, we talked yesterday, going through a phone tree, it's sort of AI. It still gets lost, or Alexa and Siri still gets lost on when you ask a certain question. So there's so many things. So when it fails, are you going to be able to talk to a person still?
Yeah, as long as it doesn't argue with me about my order.
That's what it gets. All right. We are running out of time, Phil, so we're going to have to get you back so that we can get the technical difficulties taken care of. Maybe we continue our conversation maybe next week, so we have that. We do have a programming error here, or a programming delay. I was going to talk about EA's promotion of Lori Miele to the COO with her most powerful woman in gaming. We're going to do this offline. And we're going to talk about it again next week because it is a very valuable information to have. We're going to have this be a part of our first hour next week so we can really talk about this big influence on the industry itself, having a woman who's been very successful at EA over 20 years being there, being promoted to the COO in the upcoming weeks ahead. So I am Nathan Mumm. I appreciate you joining our show. We had lots of technology to talk about. If we only had an additional hour, we could talk even more. I will see you guys next week. We got Microday and David Brown behind the board. Have a safe and wonderful day.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us on TechTime Radio. We hope that you had a chance to have that moment in technology today. We also have a few other ways to stay connected, including subscribing to our podcast on any podcast service from Apple to Google and everything in between. And also signing up on our YouTube page, where you get to see us live in video. Yep, you can see us chat and have some fun. It's youtube.com/TechTimeRadio, all one word. We hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did making it for you. From all of us at TechTime Radio, remember, Mumm's the word. Have a safe and fantastic week.